Freaks and geeks of horror.
Welcome to another episode of Freaks and Geeks of Horror podcast. Got the regular crew, Richie, Nick, Hillary, Paolo. Today we're doing 2002 Danny Boyle classic, 28 Days Later. Technically picked by Hillary, but we all love it the same. I'm going to throw it her way to kick us off.
Yeah, I remember where I was when I saw this movie. It's from 2002. I won't go into detail about where I was, but I was in a theater, and I just remember it left me speechless. Like, this is an amazing movie, and to me, it like beyond the realm of horror, it is one of the best movies ever made, in my opinion. Let's see, what inspired? Well, let's talk about why we all love it first.
Yeah, Hillary chose it on the wheel, but we were all really excited when this came out. Not only is it topical, the new movie's coming out fairly soon, but I think we all enjoy this movie for a bunch of different reasons. Richie, you want to start out? What's one of the things that kind of draws you to this one?
It's one of the movies that kind of made the fast zombie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those movies that made the fast zombie popular. So I think that in itself makes the movies more exciting, more thrilling.
Yeah.
In the storyline too. It's great. I feel that the way they kind of made the movie of not necessarily like a zombie, like a straight direct zombie, but it's more of a virus, like it's like they kind of switched it up on us a little bit, and it kind of reimagined the zombie character. That made it special, that made it new, that made it exciting, that made me love zombie movies again,
Right.
So I think that in itself, it's the reason why I love it. It's just so many different factors that made it kind of like revive the zombie kind of genre, you know what I'm saying?
Totally. So. Exactly. How about you, Nick? What's one of the things that kind of drew you to this one?
Very similar to what Boogie said, man. It was one of the first, because it came out before that remake of Dawn of the Dead, right? So it's like the first fast zombie movie, even though I don't think they really even say zombie. Like,
they don't.
No, they don't. They call them the infected.
And it was just because of that whole element, I feel that like the George Romero zombies, which obviously they're in a class all their own. They started it all,
totally.
right? But you can no longer watch the movie and be like, oh, I would just run that way. These guys are more athletic than, a lot of people apparently.
Oh, yeah.
So it puts a whole other element of just terror on it, because you've really got to be on your toes, like literally to hide from them, right? Like,
Fun fact, when they started casting for this movie, they were looking for athletes.
I read that too.
Yeah.
To make them look like they move more ferociously.
For sure.
Works.
So they were looking for actual athletes. So
it makes
just
sense.
A fun fact. Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense now. Besides that too, it isn't just straight horror. There's a great family dynamic, whether it's like the actual people who are related or, the two groups of people who get together, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of emotion involved in it too.
Oh, yeah.
And it's sad, but it's bad the fuck ass. So that's why I love it.
Yeah. Like, it just feels so real, and I love all of the lengths that they went to like capture this feeling of like an abandoned city. Like, it's empty. There's nobody there. Well, there are people there, but you don't want to encounter them. And it just feels so real, and it just transports you, and like bad things happen, but there's always these little glimmers of happiness that just pop out of nowhere that just make you feel like, oh, you know what? There is hope.
Yeah.
There is hope for
Breaks
humanity. Like, there's a lot of hopelessness.
And
hope.
I feel those happy moments, kind of gives the movie even more character, because, we all could see ourselves like, if that was me, that's how I would want to be. I want some enjoyment in my life. I don't want to just be running all day, every day, right? Yeah. I want these like little enjoyments to like make me feel that there's more to life than just fucking running and hiding.
Surviving.
Yeah, surviving.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think the thing that kind of drew me to the movie, it was like, it was kind of that odd time between, it kind of resurrected zombies, really. I mean, there was Resident Evil, the video game, I think in like the mid 90s, 95, 96 or something like that. Slow moving zombies, but But what was one of the scariest scenes in that first Resident Evil? It was when the dogs jumped out the window. They're fast as hell.
Oh, God.
And you're trying to aim with this stupid D-pad because the controls were bad for that first game. But that was the point. It's something fast infected coming after
For sure.
you.
Yeah. Oh,
And I think they just took that, ran with it.
and that one moment in Resident Evil where the first zombie looks up and
Oh,
you
when he's
see his
eaten?
face
Yeah.
and he's been
Yeah.
eaten. And I feel like this movie, well, actually, Resident Evil was an inspiration for the movie.
Clearly. And it's an update of, it kind of along with, it was like one of those early 2000s movies that kind of resurrected the genre. I mean, look at Walking Dead. The establishing shots for Walking Dead and 28 Days Later, it's the same thing. It's someone that wakes up in a hospital, Rick or
Jim.
or Jim,
Exact
the
same
same
thing,
thing. And the comic book wasn't even written until after 28 Days Later came out. I think the comic book was
Word?
written
Yeah.
in 2003 or something like that.
Oh, like right after it came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It mirrors it a lot.
So it's interesting to see like, oh, okay, it and Walking Dead was huge, and it's like, oh, it's pushing that genre in a more terrifying, quite frankly, direction,
And they did,
post-apocalyptic.
they did it in a really good way. Like, like one of the scariest things about it is we don't really see the zombies in the beginning, in the middle. Like, you don't see them that often, right?
They don't
Like,
show
it's
all
like,
that much.
They don't show them that much, and that kind of makes it, scarier. You
Yeah.
know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's like the monster you don't see is the one that scares you the most. You know,
Yeah.
like the one that's in the back of your mind. And I feel that a lot of the movie makes us kind of creepy because it's like he's walking. I mean, even from the first scene or the second scene, I guess you would say, right? When Jim's in the hospital, he's walking. It's all empty, and you're like waiting for something to happen or something to come out or anything, right? There's nothing, silent, right? That's the scary thought, right? Just being able to like just wake up, you see keys underneath you. Somebody saved his life by
Yes.
throwing those keys
Yeah.
under
Someone
there,
locked
right?
him
It's
in
a
there
last
to
ditch effort.
save
locked
him.
him. Yeah, somebody saved them, and it's like even that scene. It's like, man, that's powerful.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what really just dawned on me recently, like just watching it now and not like previously, is that when he woke up, he didn't wake up just in a hospital room. He was in the OR. So when
Really?
Yeah, he was like strapped to shit, and, like,
Naked.
Oh, I
right?
didn't even think of that. Yeah,
So,
you're right.
like-
It wasn't just a room.
Yeah, so he like got, and he's half his head is shaved, and he's got the stitches. So it's like they worked on him, and it's
probably
all
just-
healed there, and then just like, oh, shit's going down,
gotta
like
go.
left him. Yeah, like I saw that, and I was like, oh, I'm glad they at least finished like
Yeah.
whatever they
Yeah.
were doing to him.
They don't cover your body up in Britain when they're doing
Oh,
surgery.
yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah,
no.
PP shot within
They
the first
just-
10 minutes. Hell yeah, dude.
It's all
Full
out there.
frontal cilium.
Hell yeah, dude. Another thing that I thought was pretty terrifying and that kind of was a little bit different than other zombie movies in the past was I thought it was cool that you got infected almost immediately.
Yeah.
You didn't need to
Yeah.
die to like
No.
come back as a zombie.
Oh,
You-
record timing.
As
Yeah.
we know now, saliva.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's all it takes.
Saliva,
Little
blood.
blood.
Yeah, but that's all it takes, just saliva.
Even just
you know,
making out with someone who has it.
Yeah,
You don't even need to
Make
get
out with
bitten.
no zombies, dude.
60 seconds, you're done.
Yeah.
Fucking done.
Yeah.
And I
it's
mean,
pretty wild.
and let's get to what was the cost of it all, right? It's like
Environmentalists.
yes,
Yeah,
right?
thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks.
You're trying to save some monkeys. You blew it.
No, but basically they're trying to they're actually trying to eliminate rage, right? Like that was the whole thing. They're trying to eliminate rage. So they're showing these monkeys, chimpanzees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're monkeys. For the better part of it,
yeah. They're trying to they're showing them like all these like videos of like of people out there like killing each other, burning each other, like a lot of violence, right? And then it's like when the people come in and they kind of try to like, you can't do this. Then what was it? What's the word you guys just said? It environmentalist.
Environmentalist.
I couldn't think of the word. I was like, the environmentalists. They come in here. They're trying to stop them from doing that. They open the cage and instantly the monkeys just start attacking.
He's on them.
They just start attacking, right? And that's what it is. It's like they let loose a virus that wasn't kind of established correctly or,
Yeah.
or fully developed.
It wasn't contained.
It wasn't
or anything.
contained. It wasn't
Yeah.
fully developed. So they still had a lot of like holes in that virus. And I feel that that's, they didn't understand what was happening. And even the doctor or the scientist told him, you don't know what you're doing, and it's like before you knew it, boom, they infected the whole country of UK,
Britain,
I guess.
yeah.
In 4 weeks. That's
4
wild,
weeks,
right?
yeah.
Like I really
whole
thought
thing.
about it. I'm like, that's fast.
It's quick.
dude. Britain's like,
Because think about it, it's like it wasn't like it was like it was fast because any saliva you go next person, and you're giving it out, right?
Yeah.
They're spitting blood.
Yeah.
I think
Oh
they
yeah,
modeled
the
it.
vomiting the
vomiting
blood.
I think they modeled the symptoms off of Ebola.
Ebola.
I think that was on purpose, and there was
Yeah.
like your eyes get red.
Yeah.
You bleed internally sometimes. So
Yeah.
you
Oh,
would
shit.
cough up blood.
Rupturing.
And I was like, okay, so maybe there might be a little bit of itty bitty truth to that.
Well,
I
it's like
thought
a
that
combination of
based in
Ebola
reality.
and like rabies.
Rabies.
And rabies, yeah.
Rabies.
because it's just amplifying a human emotion. You're
sure.
You're just turning rage all the way up. You're still moving around. Oops, sorry, I don't know what that was.
I did it.
My wada. But yeah, there's all these kind of qualities that have a little basis in truth, which kind of adds another little layer to it. It kind of adds a little more realness to it, I guess, in a
it
way.
makes it scarier.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you
Fact
gotta
it's a
you gotta
virus.
think about like these viruses are like we know that they're like viruses out there that could really change the world in an instinct, right? Like it's like not too long ago we had something not similar but something crazy like you
But
know
a
what I'm saying
pandemic, yeah.
that they kind of took over the world. It's like something like that could instantly go from person to person like that,
Yeah.
and change the course of humanity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like that's exactly what they did. It's like with that movie, they changed the course of reality by putting zombies in a with the virus. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
creating zombies with the virus that could just happen in a lab.
Mm-hmm.
In freaking China or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anywhere
Yeah.
in London.
Yeah. So like,
It's
okay.
bloody virus.
Okay, so like hypothetically, what if we did live in a world where monsters were born from a virus?
Mm-hmm.
Like there could be other monsters that could be born from a virus,
Mm-hmm.
not just zombies, but what about
Wolfman.
wolfmen?
The new Wolfman. That's exactly what it was.
Because we're talking about
Badass,
just
dude.
like body fluids, right? Sharing body fluids. What about vampires?
Yeah.
You know?
Vampires.
Cute.
Or they're all kind of contagions in a
Cabin
weird
fever.
way. Cabin
Yes,
fever.
just a
yeah.
flesh-eating
It's a
like
common horror
desires
trope,
that just
huh?
destroys your whole body eventually.
Can you imagine that?
Blech.
Like marketing, like kids don't have sex, you'll turn into a wolf.
You're tuning a werewolf, zombie, vampire.
Not
dude.
today, Satan. Oh,
Turn into a lizard.
No, I like
Oh.
that. I think the whole contagious thing is, it kind of adds another little element of being like, I don't know. It's scary. It's even scarier. All those movies that we just mentioned. It's one thing if a monster is chasing after you and you can kill it and it's over. When you see something infect you and it's like, especially in 28 Days Later, you see how quick it spreads when someone does get bit,
yeah.
i.e. in the lab in that first shot. The guy, as soon as they open up the thing, they're like, no. And then he sees the monkey bite the lady. He's like, we have to kill her. He like goes and grabs the
Yeah.
stool. He's like, no, we got to kill her right now. And by the time he grabs the stool, it's already too late.
Yeah. late.
She spits in the other guy's face and it's just like, all right, game over. It's like, wow, it's that quick. And that was in a room of 3 or 4 people, It's like, you imagine something like that gets into the crowd. It's probably something to behold.
Let's
I think
talk-
in the second one, they did that in the sewer, in the tunnel or whatever. And you see that scene where it's just like,
Oh, when the
boom,
kid.
boom, boom,
Oh,
boom,
yeah.
boom.
When the kid jumps
yeah.
on in the vent.
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just
He's all like,
happens
hell,
so fast.
fuck this shit. I'm jumping in that
Yeah.
vent.
Bouncing.
I'm sorry, Nick. What were you gonna say?
oh, I forgot. We'll come back.
My
to it.
bad.
No,
I
no,
feel like
no,
I
no,
cut
you're
you
good.
off. I was like, Mom.
No, you're good.
So like
Yeah.
I feel like it affects you like faster or not as fast depending on how you got infected. I feel like if it's a bite, it's going to be fast. It's going to be like less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But I feel like if it's like splatter, like remember Frank, he got it in his eye, which was
Poor Frankie, dude.
like one of the most tragic parts of the movie, but it took a little bit longer.
He starts
Like
shaking and shit.
Yeah, like he
was
starts
fighting it, dude.
spazzing, like he can
And that's what it
tell.
is. They're fighting and they're trying to
Yeah.
fight it. They're like, no, it's not.
Get away from me.
Yeah, like I feel like it probably feels terrible when you feel it getting in you, because what was it? The first chick, the environmentalist, she was like, it's burning.
Oh yeah, it burns.
It burns. Like it must feel
that's what
terrible.
She's saying. You're right.
When you get infected.
So yeah, let's talk about that scene, right? Like we could go back to it, but man, such an emotional moment in that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like the only thing that little girl has is her dad, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like the only thing she has. And then it's like the only thing he has is her, and he's trying to save her, basically.
Yeah.
So they go on this trip, whatever. And then when they get to the place that they were supposed to go to, he didn't contain himself. The only time he freaks out in the whole movie, he's always so peaceful, always so chill. The only time he freaks out in the movie, he like a bird is like chirping at him, you know what I'm saying?
Pecking at a corpse.
Yeah, and then he's
Pecking at
like,
some meat.
what do you want? It's something. He kicks the fence or whatever, and then a freaking blood drops into his eye.
Yeah.
Immediately, he knew what was happening. He knew that he's like, I fucked up.
Yeah,
It's
poor
like,
Mad Eye
it's
Moody.
kind of like
dude.
a metaphor. It's like you don't want rage in you.
No.
And like, yeah, he had been completely peaceful and kind and calm the whole time.
One mistake.
Sipping on the creme de menthe.
And then he could have left that crow alone. He wasn't even like sitting underneath the crow. He was like off to the side and he saw the crow.
He got up.
He
was
got
like,
up
went
and went
under
to
it.
the
Shut
crow and just started talking shit to the
Yeah.
crow. And
But
then,
but you know what? Like,
it's tragic.
if he was alive, if the dad was alive, would any of the last outcome happen, or would it have been harder for Jim to save those girls?
I feel like the military guys would have tried to find a way to kill Frank early, no matter what. Because I feel like
protecting his daughter.
they wanted the
Inhibiting
women.
They wanted
the
the lady.
reproduction
They wanted
of the
the
world.
women.
Right.
Frank probably looked like a bigger threat than Jim, you know, because he's a big guy. He looks very strong. He's
Jim
Mad
looks
Eye Moody,
infected.
dude.
Yeah.
Of course he's scary.
And then, like, do you want a guy like that infected and raging on you? Like, that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
never really thought about that. Like,
there's a shift in
a
that
lot
part
of
of the
them
movie.
are like thinner, athletic dudes. But what if it was just like the entire like
Bunch of tanks,
offensive
dude.
linemen of the fucking Tennessee Titans all got the
Bunch of
rage.
rugby players or something.
Holy
Yeah.
fucking oh dude, they're brutal.
Oh yeah, rugby players. Yeah.
Brutal. Hey, bring up something really quick. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys like noticed they use miles instead of kilometers in the movie. That sign says last burger 60 miles, and then on the radio, I'm pretty sure he says 27 miles. Was that for just like American marketing? You think? Because we're the only country that doesn't use the
Yeah.
fucking metric system.
Huh.
That's weird.
They're paying their respects. Good on them, dude.
Like
They know
sign
what's
miles.
up.
Miles.
They know
Danny
what's up.
Boyle's
dude.
like, nobody knows what a fucking kilometer
They know what's
is.
up,
Come
dude.
on.
I didn't even think
They
twice
know
about
miles
that.
matter, dude.
Yeah.
No one knows what a kilometer is.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
right?
funny.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
Easter egg for sure.
Miles are awesome.
Yeah. What else? The best survival crew. What?
Oh yeah. So like, okay, how many people would you want on your crew? Okay, if you were gonna survive, let's talk about like, do you think you would survive? And like, it's harder to survive on your own. I think, at least mentally, it would be. I think that would wear you down if you're on your own. So you need
Unless
a crew.
you're a Rambo.
Actually-
Unless you're a Rambo type dude.
I actually-
Unless you're just a psychopath
But-
and you're better off on your own.
I
You
actually
know.
was talking about this specific situation earlier. I'm like, would you be able to survive 28 days later? Would you be able to survive 28 days later? That I kept on coming to my head, and I had to like speak out on it, because I was like, there's only one way that I would survive and one way that I would fail. The way that I would fail is if I would have friends or family, my wife, my son, you guys. Like I would die.
Yeah, I
'Cause
was
it's
thinking
like,
the same thing.
I can't not help you guys out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I could not help them out. Like I would
Yeah.
have to be able to save them. And I'm like, if they go down, I go down with the ship. You know what I'm saying? So the only way I would survive is alone. And I think I could actually do it. You have to be, there's a couple of things you have to do. You have to be fast. You have to be kind of like street smarts in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be able to like climb
Sure.
things, and you have to be able to like hide well and stay quiet for long periods of time.
Yeah.
I think I could do all of the above, you know. But if I had anybody with me, I know I would go down with them, because I'm like, fuck, they
Yeah.
found them. I
Yeah.
gotta go back. Like,
Parko, be quiet.
Yeah.
yeah, seriously. Oh, with dogs, I would never survive.
Yeah.
So-
Almost made it.
So I think if it was like me by myself, I would be able to survive. If it was me with anybody else, I'd go down with the ship.
Yeah.
Unless it was people maybe you didn't feel like super close to.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, that's kind
But
of
then,
what we
then you're
found.
kind of alone in itself, right? Like
Yeah.
you're on your own. You have some people. I think in these kind of scenarios, it's like anybody that you see, you're gonna be like, you're alive, I'm alive. Let's kind of keep an eye for each other. Yo, if you go down, I don't give a fuck
Yeah, you
about
can't
I'm
be too
gone.
attached.
Get
like, you know
understanding.
what's up. Like, we're going to leave you.
It's like you're a
Or we're
wild
gonna kill
animal
ya.
at that point.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
ultimately, I'm looking out for myself. I'm
Yeah.
going to do my best to try to, like,
Yeah.
stay alive.
Yeah.
Well, that's the ultimate every man for himself.
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
And that makes sense. I mean, if I had like a kid or somebody with me, you got to look out for them.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to be like, see ya. With a stranger, a lot easier. I like that agreement.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? We'll go as far as we can together.
Yeah.
Like I get
Yeah.
to talk to somebody and not be alone like 100%. I get to actually talk and conversate with somebody so I don't go crazy,
Yeah, I'm telling
right?
you,
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, like
Totally.
somebody to take shifts with, like if you're what do you like, what
I'm
was
just sitting here doing Wilson
What
stuff,
voice?
dude.
Just Castaway
talking
quotes, no big deal.
about Castaway.
well, like I'm afraid of getting like attacked in my sleep, so it would be good to have like one companion and you can just take turns sleeping. At least I would feel good about that.
Or just go the Valium route, dude. Isn't that what the crew did?
Oh,
They were like,
she's like, take
so
these pills.
it's like, cool, you'll be able to sleep well, and even if you did get munched in your sleep, you won't care.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Or maybe the zombies will think you're already dead.
Like in Shaun of the Dead.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, what a good movie.
I know.
So I got a quick thought. Sorry,
go for
guys.
it.
Go for it.
So obviously we know like you don't have to shoot them in the head or anything for them to die. Like they die like pretty easily and
like a
stuff.
human.
They're
would.
closer to
Yeah.
humans than zombies, right?
That's
Yeah,
true.
they're easily.
They're not immortals.
Mm-hmm.
You're not like chopping off their legs and they're still crawling towards you, kind of thing.
Do you think it's like in all or not? Like, do you think they could be like tranquilized to move slower? Like they're like, oh, I want to study this guy.
Turn
like I'm
them
gonna
into regular
change.
zombies.
Yeah, maybe.
Kind of. That
They
way,
could
it's like I
be
want to
knocked
study him,
out.
but so he's not so violent.
So okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so I have we were talking about this a little bit earlier. 28 weeks later, right? Like the gas,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
so, it's like they get gassed up. So we're skipping a little bit. We're going into 28 weeks later. There's a scene at the end, towards the end, where basically like they're pushing the car, or before they push the car, there's this gas, and like the zombies are not breaking through the windows. For me, they got in weaker as the gas kept on coming in.
Maybe the gas weakened
You know what I'm saying?
them.
So
Okay.
it starts weakening them,
That's a
right?
good
It's that
theory.
pot smoke, dude. They're like,
Yeah. Oh man, so
"Shit,
stoned.
man. I don't even want to break this
Start
window,
lunging.
man.
But I
Ganja,
feel
man.
I feel that gas is slowly like kind of like killing them or sleeping them, right?
Yeah.
We don't know if they're dead. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But because they could still be there because they burned them afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
They blew
saying?
it
So
up.
it's like they were burning them and stuff like that. Even the guys with the guys that killed
flamethrowers.
the military dude.
Yeah.
They burned them.
They
so
had
they were
flamethrowers,
so they
yeah.
were burning things as the gas was going, right? So I think it was just making them weaker, maybe even going to sleep, and then he was burning them. That could be a scenario that could happen. So they could have kept them.
Yeah.
That's a good strategy.
That's
I think.
actually that's a great assessment.
Yeah,
It goes
gas
back to
them.
what I was bringing up earlier. How they couldn't break the windows. Makes
Yeah,
sense now.
maybe, huh?
gas
Yeah.
them. Oh.
Who would who are we on? Is it your crew or your crew?
Oh.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
We were just kind of talking generally. Let's see. What would I do? I
Would you be solo? I want to know.
I
Sorry, Hillary.
I don't know what I would do because I get the
I would
idea
be
that I would want my friends. I would want to be around the people I loved. I think I know it would make things tougher, but I feel like ultimately, and I think this is kind of a small little theme in the movie. It's like life's almost not worth surviving if you're just trying to, or not worth living if you're just trying to survive. The whole point of living a fulfilled life is to be loving people, even though it's maybe not the most ideal situation. Maybe it's, a little fucked up and terrifying, but what makes it worth it is the company you keep, I think.
It's like
So, I mean, maybe it's a little bit of a different opinion, but I would want, and you're right, I would probably play a riskier game, because ultimately you are going to be like laying yourself on the line for the people you love, because that's what you would do. That's what it would hurt too much for these people to go. And then it's like a life without these people would not be worth living anyways.
Yeah.
At least in my view. I'm not trying to make myself out to be a hero or nothing.
No. So
No,
okay.
that's-
So what if
that's
you're,
great.
what if you are alone? What would you do then? Like, are you like gonna like
I'd
give
run
up?
face first into a zombie.
Would you
dude.
give up? Would you give up?
Suicide by zombie?
I don't know. That's
Or would you
that
still
is-
try to survive?
That I think is the tougher question to me, because if I was alone, I value my friendships and my family so much, the people that I love so much, that it would be tough.
I had to say that.
I was talking about my kitties. Have them duct taped to me. Don't make a sound.
Over their mouths.
You're like this. You're like meow 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 meow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I would definitely have to set up some kind of like animal sanctuary. That would be a part of my post-apocalyptic plan.
Save all the stray cats.
Yeah, I'd want to save all the
Yeah.
pets. Gosh,
Okay.
that breaks my heart.
Another scenario. So we know that animals could get infected because chimpanzees, right?
yeah.
So then cats
So
and dogs
okay.
and stuff will get
So
'em.
now
Oh,
that you hear
rats.
that, does it get a little bit more risky? Are you still saving these all these cats and dogs? Or are you gonna?
Yeah, those are liabilities, man.
Oh,
we don't need a
man.
horde of zombie cats and dogs. That would be crazy.
Zombie cats would honestly be scarier than
Yeah.
Can you
zombie dogs.
imagine a rage dog
Oh
or
my
rage cat? It's like
gosh.
violent zoomies all the time.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
Cats
God.
would be more terrifying, because I don't know, to me, because I think cats can do some gnarly damage, and all they need to do is like get a little bit of spit or blood into you. You know, they just scratch you and put a little spit on
Easily.
you.
You
Easy.
get scratched all the time.
They
3
could
times
jump
a
on your
week.
face.
You're done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right on your
yeah.
face.
that's what I mean. They're more athletic, arguably, than dogs. So a little zombied out cat just using
Totally.
all of its muscle to
But
jump on your chest, dude.
was there a horse in that movie?
Yeah, there was a family of horses.
Yeah.
But they
And
were
they were
cool though.
fine.
Oh,
Right?
wild horses,
They're cool.
right?
Yeah.
They were
But
fine.
I don't think they got caught up yet. I'm like, but that would be kind of scary too. Some crazy zombie horses.
You look close and they had red
Yeah.
eyes. They're like, "Don't try me."
Dude.
Little
Yeah.
horse zoomies.
Dude, I think we just like really like take for granted that horses just are generally tranquil creatures. If they were like carnivorous or had the rage,
Yeah.
it would be fucked up.
They could
Especially
sock
out
you
here,
in the
got
face,
horses
dude.
everywhere.
A horse with rabies?
They just stomp on your face.
Holy crap.
Oh my
Your
God.
face would look like a donut.
Rabies horse?
No way. No way, Jose.
So let's talk. Are we kind of done talking about kind of
Where we at?
the aspects of it?
I think so.
So I wanted to ask a question. Let's rate this movie, right? Let's rate 28 Days Later. Paulo.
Oh man, if we're doing decimal points, I mean that's got to be like between a 9 and a 9.5. We'll say split the difference. I'm gonna say 9.3. It's
Oh.
good. It's
Oh.
really good. I love this
Type of guy who sets his alarm for like 5:17 in the morning. You
I
weirdo.
do actually. How dare you?
I would give it
Hill.
a 9.5. Yeah,
9.5?
I would only dock it a half a point just because of the quality, the picture quality, the resolution.
Oh, yeah.
But even that adds flavor to it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
documentary.
it. Honestly, I'm fine with
Gives
it.
it that CCTV quality.
I would
kinda.
give it a 10.
Yeah, dude. See,
Nick.
yeah. I'm gonna say 9.75.
Hell yeah, it's great, dude.
We're
Deducting
creeping up there.
0.2, it would have been perfect, but I'm always caught off guard by Jim's wing doodle. I'm like, it's like,
Oh yeah, he shows it a couple times.
I gotta
dude.
deduct that a couple points.
Oh
for-
man, that
First
adds a
time-
point. That
First
adds
time
points for
meeting
me,
Cillian
dude.
and we get to see
I love it
think
when I see Wang in
ding dong
movies.
first off.
I think for me, this is the highest rating movie that I've done so far.
Really?
It's 9.8.
Whoa.
That's solid.
Are you
Can I
serious?
change mine to 9.9?
No.
The Price is Right. What did you say?
Yeah. How
Splitting
dare
hairs
you?
over here.
So
How did I get
I
the
think
lowest?
that the bad quality makes it an even creepier movie.
Yeah.
It makes it so crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? Watching it on VHS, phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it made it so fun, so exciting, like so creepy, very nostalgic still, even though it's like still in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still like I still feel, I mean, it's what, over 20 years now. It's a
classic.
Yeah.
It's a classic, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, it's one of those movies that is just like powerful from beginning to end. Those scenes are just crazy. Like even the first scene where the monkeys are in the lab, that's such a freaky, like, part of the movie, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And then even like when they go to the church, right? And then they're like, the church scene, it's
the church is
insane,
creepy.
right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like he doesn't see nothing. The first bodies he sees is in a church, and he's like, hello, and then they just go, they look back, and it's
There's
like,
two of them.
what the fuck? And then he's walking, and he's like, oh man. And then he hears a door trying to open, and he sees the priest, and he's like,
Father.
father, and
Father.
he's coming, and he's like, and then he hits him with the bag of sodas, right?
Should have done that.
And he's like, I shouldn't have
So
done
good.
that. And then that's when everything starts. They start running, and then all the craziness starts right there and then, right? You know, so now he understands that
good.
there's something that's trying to go after him. That's insane. Like, and I mean, the whole story, even when they're in the supermarket, you know, it's such a fun, happy moment. There's like, you know, there's some hope,
Yeah.
but there is no hope.
Yeah.
No.
They
You know,
play-
there's hope for no hope. You know,
there's
like
a
it's
cute
like,
little rock song playing.
yeah. Dude, it just makes you like kind of happy for 1 second, and then they leave, and then you're like, oh, there's still zombies that trying to attack them, bro.
Yeah.
Like, the movie is good. The characters are great. Even the scenes where at the end, right? Like the end scene when basically like they're trying to kill Jim. They take him out. Basically, they're gonna kill him off. You know what I'm saying? And then he's all like, he jumps back in, and it's like he's a whole new person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he's like he's saving these girls, and he's like a whole new person. Like,
Yeah.
it's something we haven't seen from him. You know what I'm saying? He actually becomes a hero. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? In a sense, it's
character
like
arc.
like he goes in there, he like kills these military guys where like being like just sneaky and just he's in love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like he needs to fight for these girls, you know, that it's like that's the only people he has in this world.
They're my girls.
Yeah. Let's talk about those military people.
Yep.
So
They're the worst.
who's the bigger villain? Is it the infected, or is it these people, these humans?
The existential post-apocalyptic question, really. I mean, that's
who can you
that's
trust?
I mean, Walking Dead did the same thing. It's kind of like, yes, there is this overarching enemy of
Terminus.
these zombies that are coming,
Terminus. Yeah.
but ultimately there's gonna be people that are worse, and that's kind of the lesson is
Power hungry.
But-
We're going
but-
to use your resources to
Manipulative.
repopulate the
Yeah,
world.
totally.
But not everybody in that house was bad. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You have the other one, the other I don't know, sergeant or
there was
whatever.
anher guy that was trying
Oh.
to stop the stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to stop.
He was shut down pretty quick too.
Yeah, and
Like,
he
was outnumbered.
He got killed.
Yeah.
Remember how he broke it down to Jim though, because up until this point, you hear whispers early on in the movie. They're like, "Oh yeah, I heard that New York and Paris are fucked up too." But then this guy, the New Age soldier as they call him, he's in the cell with them, and he's like, he's rehearsing some fucking
his
joke
rant.
from The Simpsons. He's like, "That's my favorite joke from The Simpsons." You know, in America, they're watching The Simpsons right now, and Simpsons like, "What?" He's like, "Everything is fine." He's like, "We're fucked. They quarantined the island. How would things get to New York and Paris?" Though the ending of 28 days later,
Yeah.
weeks
Yeah.
later, kind of.
Yeah.
That's where we see it.
Eventually.
But I thought that was like a real pivotal moment in the
Yeah.
movie. Like, oh,
It's
this
not the
whole
world.
fucking time, everything's fine. It's just them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Jim sees the jet fly overhead.
Yes.
And he's like, holy crap, that guy was right.
Yep.
Life is going
And
on
he's speaking
outside of
Finnish.
here. Yeah.
He was like the only. Was he like the only like good soldier in there? Pretty much.
I
Everybody else
think
was
so.
kind of
Yeah.
followers, but he was like the only one who was like, no, fuck you. He tried to like help.
Yeah,
Jim.
he actually
Yeah.
tried to stop the
What
He didn't think that was
gonna
right.
happen,
creepy,
Yeah.
the creepy shit. Yeah.
I mean, and then you have the part where basically like he goes on his rampage, killing all these kids. But the way he did it was dope, right? He started helping them get infected. He started basically like creating an infection for them, right?
He
Not
made us-
creating
Yeah.
it, but he let loose of the zombie to infect the other people, and he just kept it like super. Like everybody was terrified. Like all the soldiers, they were terrified, and he was the only one that's like, I can't be terrified. If I'm terrified, I'm gonna go down with them. You know.
He made everybody root for the zombies at the end,
Yeah.
which is wild. He made the enemy for the first 2/3 of the movie like get rooted for to defeat the humans who like the crowd would naturally want to associate or like, you know, identify with. I thought that was like such a cool twist in that third part. It's just like, whoa, he unleashes the Mailer.
Yeah, Mailer.
It was so funny when he actually shoots the chain. It looks like Mailer looks up and he's like, thank bro.
You.
And then she's like, oh, let me get to work.
Well, no, like you notice that too. It seems like they still kind of like talking about the Rage, the Infected. They maintain some of their like, I don't know, their inner being, their soul or whatever, because it seems like they recognize certain things
a little bit. The mom,
the mom,
in the second one, I think,
and then the dad at the end,
end,
looking at her before he bites her,
and then there's one that actually spoke, which I thought was interesting, and I was like, what the hell? When Jim goes into that little thing, and he's like, they got cheeseburgers in here, and he goes into that little rest stop, and he's like, hello, and then the kid jumps out from behind, and he pins him down. The kid, right before he gets killed, he's like, I hate you. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, dude.
I didn't remember that the first time I seen it, but then when we watched it this last time, I was like, why did that kid that was infected say that? That's creepy.
And it wasn't even like a grunt. It was like,
I hate you.
Yeah, like
and
he
just
like a kid, an angry kid.
Okay.
It's like they're still in there, but it's buried under the rage. Maybe children have less rage in them than adults, and so maybe that's why he could still talk a little bit.
That's
He's dead now, though.
Children zombies learn faster, man. They can just catch on quicker. They're learning to talk, you know.
So a lot of craziness in that. But to your point, like I feel that, you know, people with bad intentions like that like are worse than the zombies, you know. But then,
100%.
But you know, it's just because they're out for themselves. Like I said, like they're in a group of like, it's kind of like fratty, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like, well, no, we just want to get girls. Like, you know, let's bring the girls here. Like, it's very fratty when most people are like, we don't have the resources you guys have. We're trying to survive. And they're like, we're just trying to get laid. You know what I'm saying?
Promise them women.
I thought that they wanted I thought they just wanted to be dads. They just want a future.
When I thought about that too, like, what is their plan? To fill that house with babies and distribute them to the world? Like, what the fuck are they gonna do? Like,
and it's like, how quickly is this gonna get weird and inbred? It's like, what? There's like 2 chicks.
What is this?
Like
some barbarian shit?
Oh,
2 women
barbarian zombies, dude.
Oh,
yeah,
bro.
like 2 ladies, and they each have like 5 husbands. Like what?
The opposite of Mormonism. Right?
Yeah, I know, right?
5 wives, 5 husbands.
Lady dominant Mormons type thing.
But for every
what?
It's fake.
So those humans were terrible. But I thought what was cool is we saw, I mean, I think the movie provides some really cool character arcs. We already talked about Jim's already, because Jim, you know, he goes from being this kind of deer in headlights guy, kind of just like doesn't even know what's going on because he has to be filled in really quick. So he's kind of, he's barely even killed.
He's learning
anybody.
on a job.
And then eventually he gets
He's
to
just
be
thrown
the
in
badass to fight for the things he loves at the end. And then there's Selena, who in the beginning is just like, I'm not getting attached to anybody. And, you know, I'm killing... She kills Mark just without blinking an eye.
Yeah.
You know,
I thought that was interesting. Okay, so did it look like a bite on Mark's arm, or did it look like a deep cut?
Well, so up until right now, I thought it was a bite.
It could have been a deep cut, but there's blood.
Yeah,
it's like blood on blood.
Probably
It's
got
like
blood
it's just a matter
splatter.
of time.
And he knew. You could see it in
Yeah.
his face. He knew.
She almost did that to Jim at the end because she thought
She
Jim
almost hit him with
looked
the bat.
infected, dude.
Yeah.
And then he's like, that wasn't faster than a heartbeat.
Yeah,
See, that's
he gives her
Australian
shit.
I mean, he did the eye gouge, and the eye gouge I feel like is like a trademark move of the rage people. So he did. That was a pretty hard sell.
Oh,
Yeah, he went pretty ragey.
whoa.
They love gouging eyes.
Yeah.
But Selena,
And that's
had,
what he
Brings
did.
some good points.
Selena had a cool arc though. Selena was a cool
Yes.
character. She went from kind of
Yes.
hating everybody, not hating everybody, but not being attached to anybody, to finally letting herself realize how good it was to actually have connection.
For sure.
Especially in a world like that. You know what I mean? It's still important, even though you're risking being hurt because of loss. It's like it's always going to be worth it.
Yeah.
And that's why that's one of the best fucking zombie movies ever made.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is.
The character
Up until
arcs.
then, you know, a lot of the zombie movies, you know, they're not necessarily super plot driven. I feel like this one, it's like the zombie thing is almost it's almost like a backseat to the characters and the development of the characters. It's like a surprising amount goes on. The writing's really good.
Yeah.
The guy that wrote it, what's his name? Alex Garland.
Yep.
He wrote
That's
some
exactly
good
it.
stuff. He wrote Ex Machina. He wrote
Really?
yeah, he wrote
Civil War.
Civil War?
Which have you seen Civil War?
I have seen
Yeah.
Civil War is so badass.
That's a powerful movie.
Yeah.
I think he
There's another
directed
one.
those also, but I think he's going back to just writing. I think he's writing this next one with Danny Boyle, the
Dude.
Yeah.
one that's
Which,
coming out.
I don't know if you guys know, I didn't know this was going to be a trilogy.
I didn't either until recently.
years. What are they going to do? 28 decades
28
later?
seconds.
That wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Too far
yeah.
in the future. I don't
like-
want that.
28 year
don't
months
even know.
after.
Or a prequel to how the monkeys got.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
how
prequel
maybe
would
the
be
rage
good.
thing got
28 weeks ago.
28
Maybe,
28 days.
maybe.
Oh wait, 28 weeks after, dude. What was that
Yeah.
one?
28 months
28
after.
months after.
Well, they had that one with Sandra Bullock. It was 28 days. I always got like fucked up. I try to stream it. I'm like, not that one.
Not that.
It's like a rehab movie.
like the
isn't it?
opposite.
It's
the
totally
opposite.
like, yeah.
Well,
it's totally fucking different.
Like, how about this? So, like, there are some like happy moments, right? Like, what are some good things about an apocalypse?
no bills.
No bills.
No bills, dude. No work.
Yeah.
Everything's
yeah,
free.
Yeah.
Sick grocery shopping scenes,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude.
The looting.
The looting. Hey,
Nah, you don't really need that much
not
stuff.
cool,
in
bro.
that.
Not cool.
Yeah, you're
what
not
are you
gonna need
loot?
much.
I feel
Like whatever you can carry on your body, really. So like you can't really steal much.
like a mall or something, not people's houses, but like
Yeah,
I find like
Yeah.
I do like Dawn of the Dead. I feel like
I think a mall would be the
I'd
best
find
place
the
to
mall,
go.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
you gotta secure it, and then but like a good mall.
Make sure it has
Yeah,
a
you
lids, dude. Always come up
got-
with a
got-
fresh hat, dude.
lids. Fucking Bang & Olufsen sound store.
Cinnabon.
Yeah, you know.
A Sanrio
Bed
store.
Bath and Beyond. No, no, Bath and Body Works. That would be nice.
Bath and Body Works.
I feel like Fashion Valley would be a good zombie mall.
Yeah.
Fashion Valley.
Better if they had a roof, I think. But yeah, I think Fashion Valley. They got some high end stores,
That's
some
not
good
bad.
foods there. Maybe North County Fair. I don't know.
Athleisure.
Athleisure.
All the
Yeah.
athleisure.
Those malls are too open.
See, and that's the problem that I had with it.
I would
need
do
to
Park-
secure it.
Parkway
It is
Plaza,
open.
maybe then.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
enclosed.
Parkway.
Horton Plaza. It's already abandoned.
That'd be
but it's
terrifying,
open.
dude.
I
That'd
know.
be terrifying. That's a maze.
It's fucking
That's like
terri-
zombies in a labyrinth.
If you go down there now, it's like
That'd be
28 days
fun.
fucking later.
Yeah, I know, right?
It already
It's probably
is.
not
It's
so
already
far
there.
off.
Fuck.
Plaza Bonita.
People with the rage.
Oh,
yeah.
Plaza Bonita.
An indoor mall would be preferential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with North County Fair. That's my.
Oh yeah, I love North County Fair. So.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Or the
So-
Carlsbad one.
Commons?
Ah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. That's where they filmed fucking sorority babes in the slime ball bolorama in the 1980s.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Yep. At the Carlsbad Commons. And then they used one of the bowling alleys. It's called like Top Flight now or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
As
Pretty
long as
cool.
it's not the one where Chopping Mall happens.
No, that's the same mall as Fast Times. Sherman Oaks
Really?
Galleria or
Oh,
whatever
is
I think it is.
No
Yeah.
way.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah. What do you got for us? I feel like you're going to.
No. I do want to get into 28 weeks later. I wanted to talk about that first scene. That was one of the craziest, chaotic scenes in most movies in any movie that I've seen. That shit was crazy. It goes from like them about to eat dinner to like they're running, right? Like basically like, it's 28 weeks later. It's after 28 days later, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's still kind of the same kind of idea, same kind of plot, but we're talking about a whole new family, husband, wife, another couple extra people. Some kid comes in, he comes in, he's telling them like, my parents were chasing me, and then they bring him in, they're eating, and then out of nowhere, the house gets attacked. This dude runs, they're running. The mom or the lady, the wife, she takes the kid, they run upstairs. The husband's trying to fight off the zombies. The kid goes inside a closet. The wife is like, come over here. So she's chasing them. The dad or the husband goes the opposite way, and she's like, hey, come help us. And he's like, nope. he takes off, he jumps off the window, he starts running. The wife's like, what are you doing? And then he's running. He looks back. The wife's like banging on the window, like, what are you doing? He leaves the wife behind. He's running. He jumps he kicks a guy off the boat, basically. He jumps in a boat and he like goes to survive, basically like survives. And now he's in this whole new world, whole new community, this like of survivors. And it's like, it's just one of the craziest scenes. And I just like, man, watching that movie like brought me back. I'm like, dude, it was so intense. It had like I was so nervous the whole time, man. It was a crazy epic moment, epic crazy scene. And I'm like, man, that started off the movie. And honestly, like, because of that reason, that movie became pretty good. Like, the whole movie was okay, but that scene made the movie. I'm like, man, like, it's just, how can you like not like that moment in that movie?
Yeah.
Had to be handy cam, right? Because they're all over the place.
Yeah,
There's no room for
sure.
That was back in when a lot of movies were doing the shaky cam thing.
Yeah, dude. Like how they filmed the shield.
Yeah.
Super effective.
But no, that was a good establishing scene for that movie. I
For
agree,
sure.
because I didn't really I love 28 Days Later a lot more than 28 Weeks Later. Not saying 28 Weeks is a bad movie.
Just not a great movie,
but
it's not the greatest movie.
But
it's okay, you know.
You notice if people are like, "Oh, Danny Boyle didn't direct it," you're like, "Oh, I can, okay, I get it."
I saw it described somewhere, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of accurate." It seems like an American that tried to make a British movie, as opposed to the first one being a British man making a British movie. And I was like, "That sounds about right."
Yeah.
That's a good assessment. Very astute.
Especially when the Americans come in and save everybody.
Yeah, we got guys with sniper rifles, boy.
And they're like having a good time while they're doing
Like,
it.
we don't have these problems in Britain. Join the American military. Everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Huh.
So one thing about this movie is we saw somebody that's kind of not 100% immune to the virus, but kind of like could become kind of like a hybrid kind of person / zombie once they get, and which was the wife. She ended up being alive. The kids, so people are coming into the UK finally, right into Britain, and it's like they're letting them in because they contain the virus. They have this special area that people are allowed to come in, so they're flying in from the United States, I believe, right, or something like that.
Well, I think they're just repopulating with the British people, so they're letting the British people come back into Britain.
Yeah.
Okay,
and they're calling it District 1 or something like that.
They're
and
like
just
refugees.
I think it's like a few thousand people. I think it's like 10,000 or something, 20,000. I forget what it was.
Yeah, it's like a handful, and then it's like
not that many.
that's the good area. It's like not the whole island's good. Just part of it's good.
And so the first thing that the kids do is they're told to stay put, and these dumbass kids. I mean, they're kids. You got to excuse them a little bit, but like, take a look around.
read the room.
Read the room.
They decide, I want to go back and see my old house, and they do, and they see their mom, and their mom. What we find out is she's a carrier, so she can transmit it to people, but she's not symptomatic, at least not 100%. She does seem a little wonky, but she's not like actively trying to rage and kill people or do anything.
Like, I've been living in a dark house for 28 fucking weeks, of course.
Yeah. She's just a vitamin D deficient. She's just like,
so she's kind of regular, but then we find out that she does have the virus, of course, and you know the husband comes and he's trying to plead and tell her sorry, and you know he gives her a kiss. You know, he kisses her,
which he snuck on too. That's another bad thing he did. He was told not to go and see her. I mean, granted, it's his wife, but
he's got an access key because he's a janitor.
Yeah. So he goes back, sees her, and
I run this place.
Yeah.
Janitor.
So then he kisses her, and then that's when you realize it doesn't have to be blood that transmits the disease. It could be as simple as saliva, right? So right away he goes nuts, right? Like he starts like freaking out or whatever, but he does the same thing. He starts punching her, and then he like stabs her eyes and kills her.
It's the worst death of all the deaths.
Dude, the way he does it, he's like punching her because he has rage, right? He's like, he knows it's her, and he just like squeezes her eyes out. But then he kills her, and that's kind of like the main zombie now. He's trying to, like, everybody's going crazy.
He's patient zero now.
Patient zero, and he's the one that kind of like transmits that disease to or the virus to the rest of Britain, I guess you would say. So now it's like the military guys have to kill everybody, but not everybody's infected. But you can't tell between infected and not infected, and that's when they start shooting everybody. Bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of them that survive. One of the military guys is like, I can't do this. I can't just kill everybody. So he's like, I'm gonna help survivors out, and he goes down there. One of the doctors, the female doctors or whatever, she's like, I have to save these kids, because she knows that kid is basically like could potentially save the world. You know what I'm saying? Because he has the same thing that his mom has, and the way they know is because of two different eye colors, right? So they kind of have the same genes, and then basically he does.
Yeah.
That's what we find out, right? So everybody's getting infected. He gets bit, but he's okay.
But he never turns, yeah.
So
right? He doesn't turn. But we'll fast forward a little bit. Everybody dies basically except the daughter, the son, and then basically like one of the military guy's friends is supposed.
Crucio from Romeo and Juliet.
Yes. So he saves. He comes back. He saves them because he tells them to meet him somewhere, and it's only the two kids, and he's like, "Jump on in. I'll take you guys." Right.
Yeah.
He takes them, but then at the end of the scene, you see a helicopter crash.
Yeah.
And they're in London. I mean, they're in Paris, right?
It shows the infected running towards the Eiffel Tower.
Towards the Eiffel Tower. So you see a helicopter crashed. So I'm thinking that little kid, even though he's not showing a lot of rage, he infected somebody in that helicopter.
He sneezed
something. Maybe the sister, they're hugging, right?
Yeah, maybe he has a cut.
Something, right? So somebody in that helicopter gets infected. They crash. Maybe they're trying to go to Paris to like, maybe a safe ground. The helicopter crashes, and then you see just zombies running towards the Eiffel Tower in Paris, and that's where the movie ends.
Yeah. And it like, was it 28 weeks later? They've cleared out this area and it's safe, and then it just falls apart.
Yeah.
It just falls apart, which makes me think that like, it's probably not isolated anymore. Like if we get to 28 years later, I'm thinking it's everywhere by then.
Yeah.
Because within 28 weeks, it spread again.
It's spreading to countries.
It spread
now.
again.
Yeah.
They weren't able to contain it after all.
Yeah.
So has it taken over the world? That's the question.
I think so.
Or is it just Europe? Or
My theory is that 28 years later is going to be it's going to be a global thing. Kind of
I think so.
I think so
Dead,
too.
People have I think we're going to come into it like, and it's been going on for a long time, for like years, like maybe
for like 28, maybe.
Yeah, well, they
many years.
It didn't start 28.
I know. I'm just being a dick.
No, that was good. And people are just kind of like figuring out how to live. Some people have like better ways of killing the infected than others.
Yeah.
Maybe you find out they're like allergic to certain things, like
garlic powder.
Yeah, garlic powder. This one doesn't like pepper. I don't know.
So, I think 28 weeks later was a good follow up to 28 days later. It wasn't like that one movie that the sequel is better than the original.
No,
not at all. Right? I think 28 Days Later was too good of a movie for no matter what it was. Like you could never. The second movie wasn't never going to be better than the first one. It was so
possible.
good. It was too good.
Those shots of London just being completely dead, we're never going to see that again.
No.
That was not CG either.
No, it was real.
Apparently, they used these little Canon like DV. It was like one of the first digital videos ever made. They didn't use film except the very end, which is why in the very end
it looks good.
It looks
so
good.
good.
But everything else, it's DV. It's the first digital video. And the reason they were able to shut off parts of the street for minutes at a time is because they were able to set up these cameras so quickly. It afforded them the police were willing to work with them. Yeah, we'll shut off traffic for 45 minutes at dusk. We can do that.
It was
piece of cake. Same thing with the freeways. They
said it was 5 a.m. and it was 5 a.m. for 45 minutes.
Yeah. or they would do it
I
sundown.
was thinking
too.
it was like all day.
in the
No.
summer,
Yeah,
so it could be more sun.
and they literally, because they had these little Canon DVs, they were able to, they didn't have to spend as much time as you would have to do if you were filming with actual 35 millimeter like film. You'd have
That's
to-
pretty cool.
Yeah, I was like, so it's kind of guerrilla filming, and that's why it has that kind of odd look. That kind of like, it almost looks like CCTV or some kind
Well,
of
it's like the videos that the
found
monkeys are watching in
footage.
the beginning. It kind of, because you're led to think that that's the movie first, right? But they're actually just watching something. The whole movie has that feel.
That
it has
grain.
that
Yeah.
like chaotic documentarian,
Yep.
third world country burning down kind
Yep.
of feel, for lack of a better term,
No,
right?
that's perfect.
But like the
Live
whole movie's
footage.
like that, live footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super effective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was actually a good choice.
I'm happy that everybody thinks very highly of this movie because honestly, like, it is that great of a movie. I think everybody should think of
Oh,
it
yeah.
very highly. And if you haven't watched it, definitely go watch it. I'm sure most of you guys have already if you're into horror movies. But if you haven't and it slipped by the cracks or something like that, it's a must. You have to watch this movie.
Yes. It'll change your whole perspective on what a horror movie is capable of.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And that's why I'm very excited for 28 years later. I
Yeah.
want to see what they bring to the table,
Especially
Yeah.
since it's the original writer and director, Danny Boyle and Alex Garland. I mean,
Dude.
it's fire. Like, so
Fucking-
I'm more excited about it now.
Yeah.
It's I think it's gonna it's gonna be like pizza. Even if it's not great, it's still gonna be pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
think they're gonna knock it out of the park. It's gonna be great.
So let's talk about a couple other subjects if you guys are down.
Wait.
Yeah.
Did anybody have like a favorite scene?
Yeah, I did. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, man. This is towards the end. They're in the car. Chick's in the car. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" She's like, "I know what I'm fucking doing." She backs up. And fucking,
Oh, yeah.
Backs up. Fucking rage dude comes to the back window, pulls the other military guy who's in the back seat out, fucks him up. She
Yeah.
drives off and gets the rest of us. Amazing.
Yeah, no, that was
Yeah.
badass.
So
Hannah.
Hannah is such a gangster.
She is a gangster
Yeah.
like
for sure.
she was raised right.
She's got nothing to lose now. She's like, my dad's
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
She's such
That
a
was probably
G.
part of it.
Totally.
Richie, did you have a good favorite movie moment?
Yeah, I think it's when Jim jumps over the fence, like leave him alone, and just his change of attitude like that
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, it like gave me chills. I'm like, oh my god, it's on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and him just running back, and it's like it's just such a powerful moment. And I feel that, like, for some reason from then that third sequence of the movie, that scene right after when he jumps over, that whole sequence right there, man, is just so powerful. And I'm like, that's like what makes the movie like one of my favorite movies. Just that scene, I'm like, it's fucking crazy. It's just so violent, so aggressive, and just like you said, it's like it actually makes us root for the zombies for once. And and it's like, yeah, I think it's just such an exciting moment.
Yeah.
You can kind of feel when he goes over the wall and then he's all like shirtless and bloody. Like at least I kind of felt that, like, oh, this is some revenge shit. Go down right now.
Yeah.
This is
That's
going to
cool.
turn into a
Yeah.
Rambo type scenario.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely, for sure.
Heck yeah.
What about
Paolo-
you guys?
Go ahead.
I really love the part, it's towards the end where the women are dressed in their red dresses and Hannah has taken like a sedative
Oh, yeah.
and
Given Valium
she's
or
just
something.
saying the silliest shit. She's just like, it's okay. I feel fine. This is fine. And she's like, you're going to die soon.
Oh, yeah. She's all calling out the soldiers, and they're all just like, shut up.
They've been gone a while. I think they're dead.
They're probably
and I
dead.
think you're going to die. And then like her and Selena get like split up and Hannah's like, I'm fine. And she starts like going off down a really dark hallway. And it just feels so dreamlike in that moment. Like her red dress is sparkling and she comes around the corner and there's like this chimey music happening in the background. And it just feels like I'm like, did I take a sedative? This is feeling like a dream at this moment. I just feel like it's like a very magical sort of weird dreamy moment.
I might have to change my scene now. That was a great observation. Yeah, that's great. What about you, Paulo?
I don't know. I'm a sucker for the opening shots of just London being.
I'll think somebody's naked.
Oh, I love that too. I'm not gonna lie.
That's cool.
I read a stat. I read a stat that said he was either shirtless or naked for like 40% of the movie. I was like, hell yeah, that's crazy, dude.
You go,
Sick.
No, it was either the establishing shots with London just being gone and just dead. And it's like for such a big, bustling city, it's just that the effort that it took to do that and the amount of like planning and everything. They had an overturned bus.
And they have to flip it back.
They had to flip it back up. That all was in 20 minutes. They moved all that shit. It's like to think of all the logistics for everything. That stuff amazed me. But if it's not that scene, it's the scene where they actually meet Hannah and
Frank.
and
They're
they're all
upstairs.
just like creme de menthe, and they're all just like it's like a little itty bitty normalcy, and it's just kind of like, oh, that's a neat little break.
So that scene in the top when they go to the rooftop or whatever, or they go and they like meet Frank and everybody and they're just chilling. That was shot on 9/11, 2001.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because Danny Boyle was saying something like it felt odd to like film such a celebratory scene on such a dark day. You know what I mean?
Jeez, man.
Creme de menthe,
Crazy.
bro.
You had to be there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
Talking
true.
about that opening shot, my buddy Justin brought up a great point too. Is like he wakes up in the hospital, and you see what happens in the beginning with the monkeys, and they get bit, but you're like, whatever. And then he wakes up in the hospital and goes out, and everything's all abandoned. And it's like you as the viewer are kind of like just as confused as he is.
Yeah.
It's not like you're like, oh, everybody got killed by zombies. You don't really know that yet. So
Not
you're
at
kind of
all.
like, you're kind of in the same
Yeah.
space
Yeah.
as Jim until he goes to the church. And you're
That's
like,
true.
Yeah.
"Ooh." So I thought that was pretty good
Like,
job,
did the
Justin.
rapture happen? Like, where did everybody go?
Yeah.
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 Those
it
are
was-
great.
So
Crazy.
I'm liking this movie more and more now that we're doing this episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No,
you're good.
like I said, one of the greatest movies, and it's like the more we talk about it, it becomes greater.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell
No,
yeah.
I like. There's a lot to talk
It's one
about.
of my favorite
Yeah.
movies.
Sure.
So a couple things to talk about. First of all, wanted to say thanks to everybody. We hit over 1,000 followers on Instagram, and that's very cool. It's kind of like a it was something for us, a good goal for us to have to grow our social medias and stuff like that. And we hit that. And how much did we hit on?
On X, we are at like 1,013.
Yeah.
Right there, yeah.
And then
Very
on
cool.
YouTube, we're at
605.
Yeah.
Thanks to
Damn,
you, 605th subscriber, whoever
that's a
you
lot,
are.
dude.
Yeah, so thank you guys for all the follows and stuff. It's
Thank
like we
you.
really appreciate it. Like we do this
Hell yeah.
to have fun and because our love of horror, but at the same time, we want to give you guys a good product and we want to make sure that you guys are having fun following, our product or what we do and what we talk about, because it's like at the end of the day, our goal wasn't to like get all these followers. Our goal was just to like talk about horror and maybe hopefully one or two people would see it, and just to see that we have a decent amount of followers, it pumps us up a little bit more and it gets us excited to like give you guys more content and stuff.
Yeah.
So appreciate you guys.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Makes us want to do better.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly that.
Sure.
So another thing, so we had, if you guys go to our Instagram, are we doing this on X as well?
We didn't, but we can next
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Okay. So a little bit of so we on Instagram we had basically like a nostalgic horror movie bracket, right? And it's like the ultimate winner was Halloween, the original Halloween movie. Second place was Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, right? So it's like it was a good battle. It was back and forth between all these movies, but I wanted to ask you guys, what movie that you guys actually think was gonna win the whole bracket?
And I'm not just saying this. I thought it was going to be Halloween or Friday or Nightmare on Elm Street. I was like 50-50, and I can't
Yeah.
tell you one or the so one of them got it. So awesome.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I don't know. I was expecting it's like sometimes my personal favorite isn't necessarily what I expect to win, but my personal favorite was probably, I'm a sucker for sci-fi, but I think Alien, I expected to go a little bit further. Also, I figured maybe The Lost Boys would have gotten maybe a little bit further. But those, maybe that's just personal preference. I realize that Halloween is, it's a classic. It stands the test of time for a reason. I mean, it's an amazing. I mean, so is, here's the thing: they're all freaking good.
Yeah.
That's why it was so hard.
Yeah.
was
So
a good
it's not
bracket,
like
dude,
I
yeah.
couldn't see any of them winning. Like they all kind of had a shot for the most part.
Yeah.
Well, you saw like the kind of, I don't want to say beef, but you saw the discussion it was stirring up.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
it was a
Very-
good discussion.
Very
Yeah.
passionate,
Yeah.
which I love.
yeah.
I kind of thought it was going to be Scream or Lost Boys. And I was
Yeah.
really shocked when Scream got kicked out so fast.
He got kicked
He
out.
kicked out
He got
fast.
kicked
Like,
out
what
in
the heck,
In the
guys?
first round?
Scream got kicked out in the basically like the top 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fast.
Yeah,
Fast.
that was
Oh,
I
it
was
lost to
shocked.
Texas Chainsaw, right?
lost the Texas Chainsaw
Which-
Massacre.
I mean, you see what we're dealing with here? I mean, they're sure it's like they're different movies, but they're both equally good. I mean, Scream arguably resurrected horror in the 90s and
Slashers.
and
Fucking
then,
A,
I
man.
mean,
Yeah.
But
Texas
Leatherface is
Chainsaw-
always terrifying.
I was gonna say the fact that this character Leatherface is still relevant to this day. I mean, what, like 40 something years later?
40 years.
Yeah.
50.
Almost
50?
50 probably. I was gonna say it came out in the
50
70s.
Yeah.
50, yeah,
Holy
my bad.
hell.
So,
always been
so the fact
terrifying.
that we're still talking about a movie like that, you know, shows the real influence that movie had.
Yeah.
So it was a great list, and it was fun because
Yeah.
it did encourage a lot of discussion, a lot of the comments people
sure.
were going off. It was
So
funny.
For me, who I thought was going to be in the finals was going to be Scream versus Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Lost Boys lost in the semifinals. But even in the semifinals, I'm like, okay, Scream got knocked off. I'm like, makes sense, whatever's. But then I'm like, Lost Boys is going to win it all. I don't know, something about Lost Boys that I'm like, it's going to win regardless of the scenario. And I really believed in my heart that Lost Boys was going to win.
Yeah.
And they lost in the semifinals to Nightmare on Elm Street. And I was like, why?
Yeah.
There's no way to have this without getting like upset at something, because I'm like, these are such great choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, like none of these was I like, like I'm like, oh.
It was
Yeah,
never
you can't
like
go
it,
wrong.
it never felt like it was a robbery.
Even
or
like
a-
Jaws, right?
Yeah.
Like Jaws lost first round, right?
Yeah.
That was hard.
I don't
That was hard.
even know what it went against. But I could see it's tough too, because it's like sometimes these movies, it's like they're completely different vibes, you know what I mean? Lost Boys, it's like there's a heavy sense of nostalgia because you know a lot of us grew up during that era.
Yeah.
Like Child's Play lost first round.
Honestly,
Yeah, that must have hurt,
Even
huh?
though that's like one of my faves, but that's one of the ones where I feel like
Well, it depends on the bracketing too, right?
yeah, that's
like,
what I was gonna say. It
like,
all
and
depends
honestly,
who it goes up against.
So the way I'll tell you guys a little bit about how I did the bracketing. The bracketing was kind of like weird because I went through like this thing online that was like top 100 horror movies or something like that, or top 50 horror movies, and I was like gonna go down until I saw movies that were like that I think we would all enjoy from every kind of genre. I didn't want to stick to like one kind of genre because I could have went down the list like 1 to like 8 and it probably would have been almost the same movie, right? But I wanted to like keep it a little bit different. Of course, went sci-fi, we went like slashers, all kinds of movies, ghost movies, vampire movies.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of try to mix it up a little bit. The way I did the bracket is every movie that I would pick, it went down the line, so it went from 1 to 100. So it's like it'll be like 1 versus the last one that I would pick. So it'd be 16. So that means that it was the last one. So I made it actual like bracket, and I seeded it the way that it was seated on this in this you know, whoever judged it, right?
Yeah.
So I bracketed it that way. I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna put this with this. That would have been very unfair, and it would have been kind of like, well, you just pick your favorite movies against the sorriest
Right.
movies.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
stacking
So,
the deck.
yeah, well, I didn't stack the deck. I went from basically like 1 versus the 16th, basically the lowest tier, and then the second one I put it on the other side, so
Yeah.
they didn't go against each other. So number 2 against number 15 or whatever.
So
you know
it's
what I'm saying?
balanced.
So the 1 and 2 seed don't just bounce themselves out
Yeah.
immediately, or like, no, that makes that's a good way of doing it. Honestly, it felt like that too, because every
Yeah.
choice, it was just like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you click vote, and you're just like, oh man, this one's winning. What the heck?
It was difficult to vote sometimes.
Yeah. So, but man, very fun.
No, it was fun.
And thank you guys for you know, jumping on there and voting. You know, like we're already talking about doing another one.
Yeah.
Different type of movies and stuff like that. Horror movie or spooky movies, right? But we're thinking of doing a different one, and we're excited to bring that up whenever it comes up. Don't want to spoil it, but we're gonna come with something cool that I think everybody will enjoy as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
So we had we have our viewers, or basically like our followers, some questions, some online questions that were asked. I only picked 2 today. I knew we are gonna have a lot of conversation today about the movies, especially because there was kind of 2 of them. So I didn't want to pick that many questions, but there's 2 of them that I think kind of stood out a little bit. The first one is, what's the last movie that made you look away? This was by Harley.
Okay.
Go ahead,
I'll start.
I could start off.
Go for it.
For me, every time that I watch whatever Terrifier movie, whether it's 1, 2, or 3, there's a scene in that in each one of those movies that has made me look away, and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't just directly look at the movie. I love gore, right? Gore. That's like my type of movie that I enjoy the most. Slasher and gore, right? Like that goes hand in hand, of course, but the more gory, the better. But man, some of these scenes on Terrifier is just crazy. 1, 2, and 3 have some of the craziest scenes that I've ever seen. They actually like make me look away, and I just can't directly look at the TV. Like, it's crazy. Like I can't no matter what. Like, so yeah, I would say movies that have made me look away is Terrifier 1, 2, and 3. All of them have a scene that has made me look away.
Those are good.
Bring Her Back.
Oh, I gotta see it.
And I have not seen it.
I not.
Just saw it 2 weeks ago for Regal Cinema's mystery horror movie. You pay $5. You don't know what it is. It happened to be Bring Her Back 2 weeks before it comes out.
That's
yeah,
a trip.
my buddy Justin went and saw it. It's the first movie in a very long time where I had to look away more than once.
Really?
Yeah, and it wasn't anything like crazy fantastic. I guess Terrifier is not fantastical, but it wasn't like a gratuitous amount of gore. I'm not going to even fucking ruin it, but people who've seen it know what I'm talking about.
Cool.
Yeah, Bring Her Back. Disturbing
good things.
shit, man.
Yeah,
I really
same
want to
here.
see it.
Like 9.8 out of 10. You heard it first. Ow.
Okay,
Yeah, it was
okay.
good.
That's good. That's good. Hill, you got one in mind?
So anytime there's like eye gouging, like I kind of like can't watch the whole thing. So in both of the 28 weeks later and 28 days later, there's eye gouging that just goes deep eye gouging. It's hard for me to watch.
Really?
And also Terrifier
You
1.
must not like John Jones. fighting,
Terrifier
man.
1. Tuck those fingies in, please, John Jones. I hate that so much. It makes me
Oh,
mad.
I just started you up like a little wind-up doll.
What
Can't
about
stand
the end
that.
of
Stay away from
Barbarian?
people's
That's
eyes.
funny. Oh, yeah,
Like
Barbarian also.
yogurt and,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Those practical effects were so gnarly.
Speaking of eyes, though, I mean, the one that got me, and it's one that we just saw recently. I think it was Final Destination 5. There was one where this girl goes in for LASIK, and they have her head pinned down, and of course the doctor steps away for a second, and the laser's just hovering above her above her eye, so she can't move. She's all strapped down. And the laser starts going haywire and starts burning a hole in her eye. And she puts up her hand, finally gets her hand free. And she puts up her hand, but her hand's burning. It's getting burned through now, too. And it's just like,
Nope.
her eye pops out. It's fucked up.
Oh, so
Yeah, that
gnarly.
one was fucked up.
Stay away from our eyes.
It's not even that, like, it's like, it was like cartoonishly gory, but for some reason, it's something that it's like, I don't know. You had LASIK, and shortly after, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'd consider it." But then it's like I see something like that, and I'm like, "I like glasses." I think.
I heard glasses are back.
Yeah, glasses are pretty cool.
They're risk free.
It's kind of lame, but whatever.
Yeah. You don't want to walk on the wild side and get your eyeballs
I'm
lasered.
Good, dude. I'm good.
It is an intense experience, and like I don't think I considered the risks
You were
until
like-
after I did it.
You were like, "Oh yeah, they do that. That's how it really happens." It's
But
like,
shit
"Oh
can
man,
go
I ain't
wrong.
doing this then."
yeah, shit can go wrong.
But although
So-
what you did say that they would never leave you alone like that.
No, no.
You're
There's
just
like
letting
a
the laser go to work.
there must have been like
Be right
5
back.
people in the room with me. It wasn't just like one doctor doing it all.
Yeah.
So it was, Final Destination 5. Not a realistic scenario if you're considering getting LASIK.
Well, they used to have like Cool. 2 people in the room till that fucking movie came out. Now they got 5.
They're like,
Yeah.
"Let's get some more people in there, dude.
Just in case.
Let's get another arm. Let's get another hand on that robot."
All right, guys. Second question by David. Underrated horror films.
Underrated. All
right, I'll start off with underrated films. Prom Queen. Stop hating on it. It's such a freaking good movie.
It really is.
Like, honestly, like, it's just came out, but man, like, the hate that it gets online, it's so stupid. Don't listen to these dumbass critics. Go watch it. Watch it. It's free on Netflix. It's such a cool movie. Gore, like, good kills, man. It's fun.
Yeah, you're right. Like, you shouldn't watch it if you don't like an awesome slasher, 80s music, or gratuitous gore. Other than that, it's fucking rocks,
Fucking
man.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Okay, another one that I feel is underrated, and I think it has this little cult following, but I feel Halloween 3 has always been kind of hated on in a way, and I feel that that's literally one of my favorite movies of all time. I recently got it on VHS, which I'm super pumped up for. But yeah, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, you know what I'm saying? It's such a great movie, and yeah, I think that's a very underrated movie. I feel it should get a lot more love than it actually does. Halloween wasn't originally supposed to be, just Michael Myers. It was supposed to be different movies of Halloween every year, right? So it's like Halloween 1, Halloween 2, they stuck to Michael Myers. Halloween 3, they were going to stick to the original plan, which was going to be basically like a different standalone movie, or maybe like 2 movies, and then they were going to switch to a different character, and then so on and so on. It's the only movie that they did, but then they went back to Michael Myers because he was such a hit with audiences and stuff like that. But man, Halloween 3, it's amazing movie. Underrated, and I think that's my number one underrated movie, because it doesn't get enough love, and I think it should have a lot more following and a lot more attention.
That's a great pick. I love that movie, and people get too caught up in the fact that Michael Myers isn't in it.
Yeah.
They saw it years ago when they thought he wasn't, and they decided they're never going to.
They just wrote it off. Yeah,
they just wrote it off, and you shouldn't do it. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is really good. I think it's kind of the campiest one.
Yeah.
There's some cool deaths in there.
Yeah.
They, rip that dude's head off, crush him between
cool.
2 cars. It's cool.
Just this doctor goes around doing whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And why go home?
Went to fucking Stonehenge and stole one of the fucking arches. It's like, come on, how'd you fucking do that?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, how'd you get this?
Oh, so good. So good. I'm going to have to say Summer of 84. Came out 7 years ago, but it's set in the 80s. Kind of has a Stand By Me-ish kind of feel with these kids, but basically a kid thinks his neighbor is a killer. I put it on our Instagram recommendation months ago, but it's fantastic. It's amazingly written. I don't know how this thing slept for so many years without me knowing about it, but Summer of 84, it's highly underrated, man. So good. So good.
Yeah.
I kind of remembered about this movie when we started watching 28 Days Later, but it's The Crazies.
Oh yeah, The Crazies was good.
The Crazies. I used to watch this
Oliphant.
movie at least once a year.
The remake?
Because it was just, the remake with Oliphant. Because it was just fun. It was just creepy and fun. And just one of those scenarios where you imagine yourself being there and what would you do, And then they bombed the town at the end. So it's just it mirrors 28 Days Later a lot. But it's just really fun. I really love it.
It has a cabin fever.
That's a good
feel
one
too. You see the plane in the water, poisoning everything.
That's my vibe. Cabin Fever, 28 Days Later, The Crazies.
That's described. That's a great pick. Sorry, I gotta jump in. I explained that movie to people like this. I'm like, what's that movie about? A few times it's happened in my life. I'm like, well, it's about this fucking chemical that normally how people don't go around doing crazy shit to people. Well, it takes that away. Yeah. So people are just fucking doing that. Just doing crazy shit all the time. Yeah. Violence, fucking all this stuff.
The crazy shit you just imagine doing and you're like, they just do it.
They just do it, yeah. Damn.
Those are good. I think the one that I was thinking of, and we were just talking about it, because apparently it didn't get a ton of love or fanfare, but the new Wolfman I thought was pretty good.
It was great.
As far as being underrated, I mean, when it came out, there was a big deal about it coming out, and then once it came out, I didn't hear anything from anybody really. And then on Richie's recommendation, Richie was like, "It's good," and so I gave it a shot, and I was like, it's actually pretty good. It's not like a 1-for-1 of the original Wolfman, but I don't think people want that. I think, it still stays true to like its tragic self because, it's inherently a pretty sad story, but it does have a little twist and it's still solid. It's definitely worth the watch. I like the new Wolfman.
I think they kind of like on the topic of like 28 Days Later and like Last of Us. It's like it's not a like far out scenario. It's not like
super
the
far.
wolf bane in the moon. It's like no,
Right.
it's a virus that makes
Yeah.
you fucked up and hairy. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that could happen.
Yeah.
And he's like a wolf during the day too, so it's
He's
not
always a wolf, right?
it's not magic.
Yeah.
It's like a virus.
Yeah.
So good. Same thing. People found out like, no wolf bane. It's a virus. Wrote it off in
Right.
the Halloween 3 pile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. One last one. One last thing that I wanted to mention about underrated movies, whatever, shows, anything. The Purge franchise. I fucking love it.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like people do hate on it. It still has a little bit of following. You catch it every once in a while, but dude, I like the movies, all of them, from the first one to the last one. I like the Purge show, the I think 2 or 3 seasons. I watched them all. Amazing. I love it all. Like during like Halloween season, like I'm always watching the Purge show. Like it's super fun, man. I think it's very underrated.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
so check it out.
Those are good.
I love these movies that have so much imagination in them. Like we've been watching all of the Final Destination movies,
Yeah.
and we're like,
Those are actually 'cause
wow,
I'd only
so
seen
much imagination.
the first 2, but the next 3, the 3, 4, and 5 are actually they're all pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It
we're
got me kind of
laughing.
pumped for the new one because I was like, all right, how good can these be? And then it's like, because I do remember liking the first couple, and then I was just like, is it just going to be more of the same? It is, but it's done really well. It's like a big, like, what is it, Rube Goldberg machine of
Yeah.
deaths. It's like, it's freaking
Hell
cool.
yeah.
What
It's
a
just
great way to
fun.
explain it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Rube Goldberg. Yeah.
But
Is it time to...
it's time.
It's time. All right, so we actually got a fully functioning wheel this time. You'll hear the clicks and everything. We've replaced the 28 Days Later spot with, I think, one of Nick's choices, was it? Or
Yeah. Summer of 84.
Summer of 84.
Summer of 84.
His recommendation for the week.
Who wants to spin? Because
Paulo.
I'll do it.
you've never spun it.
You could have kept it there. All
Okay.
right, we good? Let's go. Pam, pam, pam.
That was a mighty spin.
Was it?
I'm not even going to look. I want to be surprised.
Yo.
What is it?
All right, the original Scream.
Whoa.
That's a good one.
Redemption.
Cool.
Oh,
Oh, we have some
man.
bangers lately. I mean, they're all
Episode-
good. We're choosing them. They're going to be good.
Episode 12, Scream.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, folks.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed episode 11 of Freaks and Geeks of the Horror podcast.
Yeah,
Oh,
thanks for
yeah.
sticking
Yeah.
around. Make sure you chat us up and message us on all the Instagram and Twitter or X. Oh, Jesus.
Just go to Google us, and then whatever social media pops up,
Yeah.
just like, comment.
On the
YouTube.
interwebs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
interwebs.
Well, thank you guys again. Follow us, and thank you guys for keep on following our little horror journey. And we hope you guys are still enjoying it, and can't wait to give you guys a little bit more horror stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Stay tuned
Yeah.
for next episode. It's going to be Scream.
Episode
All right, guys.
12 coming soon.
Until next time. Thanks, guys.
Later, guys.
Peace.